See those? All right. Our last but not least lightning talk speaker was a recent winner at the NC Riot Pitch Festival. Yeah. So anyway, I guess she got the belt, right? Anyway, so oh, you should have. Yeah. Anyway, this is a really cool idea coming out of Durham, and I think you're gonna be blown away. So I'm just gonna hand it over to Crystal, and selfies at the end.
Selfies at the end. Thank you, Jason. Hi, my name's Crystal Dreisbach. I'm the founder of Don't Waste Durham, which is a nonprofit organization in Durham. And I'm here to talk about one of my biggest passions, which is the circular reuse economy. I'm going to talk about what that is and how we're using open source to proliferate that throughout the world. So Don't Waste Durham's mission is to reduce the amount of trash we produce in the community, and we do that by preventing it in the first place. Imagine that. So we have a lot of programs in the community, 7 of them to be exact, and for example, we have a sustainable food truck certification program. We work to help reduce waste in Durham schools through lunchroom composting programs. We have a Rescue Food, Feed People initiative. We have Refill Durham, which helps reduce the need for bottled water. And we work on local and state level policy. One of our many programs is called GreenToGo, and it's a citywide reusable takeout container service. And we've been in operation now for 14 months, and we have achieved this proof of concept that a citywide reusable takeout container service is not only possible, but can be a viable business. So what is a circular economy? Like GreenToGo, a circular economy redefines products and services to actually design waste out of it. And it does this while minimizing negative impacts on the earth. For example, in our case, in GreenToGo's case, we reduce carbon emissions and landfill volume. So with GreenToGo, rather than producing something that's intended to be used once for just a few minutes and then thrown into the landfill, we call this the take and trash economy. We've built the infrastructure and the processes and the partnerships that are needed that we're missing to make the circular reuse economy possible. So when I first came up with this concept, people said, Crystal, that sounds too hard. How are you going to get people to return these containers? How are you going to wash them? And I said, you know, it only sounds hard because no one's ever done it before. And this is what we've built. So recently, GreenToGo captured national attention on PBS NewsHour. It was like a few weeks ago. And the first night, we received hundreds of email messages from all over the country, all over the world, saying, how can we support you? This is an amazing idea. Can you please expand to our city? And also, can you teach us how to do it? So lots of these people wanted to know how it works. They wanted to start a similar effort in their own community. So we don't want to be those people who expand our operations to 120 cities. That doesn't really sound like fun. So we decided we are going to open source our expertise to help cities replicate this model on their own and adapt it to their own needs. So how are we going to do this? We're going to be sharing with them everything we've learned and created during our 14 months of operation. We're bundling all of our unique expertise, our data, our tools, and into a series of webinars and a guide and a toolkit. And we're also going to hold office hours, virtual office hours for people to ask questions and discuss. We sent a survey to all the people who contacted us, and a huge number of them were like, yes, we want to participate in this, we're willing to pay for this, and here's what we want to learn. So we're actually in the process of writing this curriculum, and we hope to have it ready to go in about a month. And we call this a way to facilitate knowledge transfer through open source. So why are we doing this? We don't want to hinder the growth of something that we think is important enough to be replicated everywhere. Instead, we want to encourage the rapid spread of what we call a very environmentally impactful paradigm-shifting reuse system. And we can do that through open source. So I want to say a couple things. Here's my contact info. Please feel free to reach out to me. I love connecting with the tech community, and we have a lot of things I can learn from you. And we recently had the privilege of attending, being a participant in the Riot Accelerator program this summer. And we'd known for a long time that we wanted to add RFID technology to our existing service. And we're going to be the first in the world to do it. And we now know how to do it. And so we're designing and prototyping this new RFID technology for our system. And we're going to be beta testing that tech-enabled system pretty soon in a soon-to-be-named famous RTP corporation. Coming soon, stay tuned. And the technology added to this reuse system is going to make it more accessible, scalable, and make reuse as easy as throw away, which is our goal. And our plan for the future, listen up, Garner, Asheville, Chapel Hill, Cary, everybody. We want to make this a smart utility for a smart city. So we really believe this is something that can be integrated into any city. Imagine the day when you can push your reusables to the curb, just like trash and recycling. And those tech-enabled containers of all kinds imaginable will be taken to a wash facility, washed, sanitized, dried, and redistributed easily using RFID technology. We're going to be also, how am I doing on time? Am I good? Okay. We're also going to be at All Things Open. We were accepted to the pitch competition to talk about our open source technology, because we're obviously using things like Arduino boards and Adafruit and stuff like that. So that'll be exciting. If anyone's coming, please come to the pitch competition. So I have two quick asks. One is, if you or someone you know is interested in learning more about how to replicate this kind of program in their city, please contact me. We'll put you on our mailing list so you get notified about these webinars. And then, I'm so excited, I'm like out of breath. And then we'd also like to talk to anyone who has experience with online education and can answer some questions we have about platforms, because we want to have a really good discussion forum that's, helps people help each other. And do I have like 30 more seconds? No. Okay, so I wanted to save like a really quick fun fact for you at the end if I had time, so just super quick. So I bet you guys didn't know this. I bet there's not one person in this room who knows the following. Or maybe Ben, and maybe, okay. Did you know that Durham doesn't actually have a landfill? So it closed in, well, yeah, you know for sure. Closed in 1994 due to some updated state landfill regulations, very boring. Don't worry about that. Right now, all the trash trucks from Orange County and Durham County go to the transfer station, which is this big, ugly building. It looks like an airplane hangar with 3 sides. They tip their loads onto the floor of this nasty warehouse and just piles up. It's really gross. And then this front loader truck scoops up the trash and loads it onto 8 to 12 semi-trucks every day, which travel 97 miles away to Sampson County landfill, dump them out, drive 97 miles back, 6 days a week, sometimes on Sundays, at 6 miles to the gallon. So if you want to think about like why we do what we do, we think any contribution we can make to reduce the amount of trash on those trucks. And by the way, Sampson County's demographics are poor people of color. So that's another like environmental inequity issue. But thank you for listening, and please contact me.
All right, we gave her a little extra time. Sorry, other speakers. But I'm like, if you know me, I'm like the open source guy, so I'm like really into it. So when you talk about open source and like something physical, like, because I live in the open source like software world, that just blows my mind. So again, just to